Healing the inner man. Let me close this. Healing the inner man. Inner healing, which focuses on addressing the emotional and spiritual wounds from past experiences, is considered an important part of the Christian walk. But I don't like how they say it's the Christian walk. Why do you gotta put it in a box? Why can't it be a part of fucking human walk? Humanity, the walk of humanity, we'll call it. It's not just about being a Christian. It involves dealing with sinful reactions to false beliefs that are lodged in our hearts during painful episodes of life, often stemming from our parents or significant relationships. The process of inner healing is seen as a way to connect more deeply with God and others, and it helps individuals process their hurts and move towards a healthier emotional state. This can lead to a stronger relationship with God and improved earthly relationships. According to Christian teachings, which I'm sure this is fucking taught not just in fucking Christian teachings, it's probably multiple spiritual and religious teachings. So according to various spiritual and religious teachings, that's what I would say, true inner healing comes through honest self-reflection and seeking answers from God through his words, which is basically, I subscribe to the whole God is within you. Like, you're going to have these fucking feelings that is true and right and righteous through self-reflection. And I feel like that's, you could go to church, but I think ultimately it comes down to self-reflection. You find it within yourself. This involves being open about one's feelings and trusting in God's ability to heal and transform the inner man. And God to me is just the force, the universe, the power within you. And then and what I mean by God heals the inner man first is we look around at society, and that's like the outward representation of man, that's manifest here through the material world. So you got to be healed on your inner. You got to God heals the inner self first, and then it's reflected into the outside material world and our society. So I just, Scar in the Woods did a YouTube live video this morning, and he's talking about that. So I resonated with it, and now I'm passing it on here. Just gotta keep it moving. What do you guys think? Rick Glassman. Shout out to Rick Glassman. He says he forces himself to sleep on his back. He said it one time in his podcast, and it really resonated with me. And he said it nonchalantly. He's like it was no big deal, but I feel like forcing yourself to do something is powerful. Tuapri was talking about that the other day too. He says, we're going to get out here, we're going to get uncomfortable. People, there's so much focus on trying to get comfortable. But when you get too comfortable, it's a bad thing. And I feel like the idea of forcing yourself to face uncomfortable situations is what I want to do. So and then you'll be rewarded. Like it's a game. That's like sort of like the game of life. It's not just to be comfortable and have a bunch of stuff. It's to make do with what you got, God gives us everything we need. We just got to figure out how to use it. But it's hard to figure out how to use it when you're basically I would say like a child. I feel like humans are sort of like a childlike species that are learning how to use what they got, but you can only do so much because you're only at the level where you're at. Like, I always used to say, like, you can't just decide to be a different person. You gotta have what it takes to become that different person. But if you're not that person, it's basically called determinism. You can only do what you can do, and you can't do what you can't do. Try to do something. Try to be someone other than yourself right now. You can't do it. You're always stuck in the position that you're stuck in. And they say you have free will. If we have free will, I should be able to decide to be a confident, fucking non-social anxiety type person. But I can't. I can't just say, oh, I'm going to decide to be like this. I got to work at it. I got to put in the time and effort, And what if I'm not the type of person that is the type to have what it takes to work at it and push myself? What if I'm, genetically have the genetic disposition that's stopping me from becoming, something I would like to be. It's like a blockage, and that's where you got to look to God, I would say, and his teachings, basically the Bible. You can read the Bible if you want, or you can find other people out there, sort of like gurus. I guess you could call me a guru if you wanted to. I mean, we're all our own gurus. When you go in there, doctor, and you fucking try to explain to them like everything that's going on, I mean, unless it's like a psychologist that's like fucking a professional that can try to deeply understand you. The best person that understands you is you. You gotta realize it's up to you, and it's up to us, to change, all this bad stuff that goes on in the world that, people complain about the Jews. Oh, it's the Jews. It's the fucking Illuminati. It's this, it's that. But, the only way that evil can triumph is when good men, I'll say men, because women's, they got their place, they got their role in society, but men are supposed to be here to fucking make the shit happen, right? Like, you're a man. If you're a man, you go out there, you fucking put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and you overcome. You gotta be out there, overcome. They got all this fucking transgender and like people switching their identities and like fucking all this stuff. Like, it's because they don't want the men to be out there fucking accomplishing shit, because that's gonna fucking put a wrench in what they're trying to do. They're trying to demoralize men and shit and make it so you can't go out there and fucking flex your inner inner self. What do you think, chat? Do I sound like a fucking crazy person? Or what? I mean, this is sort of just my, maybe it's just character I'm playing for the stream,
Flex your inner self, they want to take hold.
Flex your inner self, they want to take hold. Yeah, I mean, they want to be the ones with the power. They want to be daddy, The government wants to be your fucking daddy. The Illuminati wants to be your fucking daddy. But, we're out here fighting the good fight. So really, we should not hate the Illuminati or anyone else, the Jews. A lot of people want to hate the Jews. No. It's all there for your own personal growth. This is what beyond good and evil thinking is. You got to think beyond good and bad, because it's all there, and it's all there for you as a human. Like, God created this fucking earth and this realm and this existence for us to experience. And if we just try to resist it, obviously, resistance is fucking futile, chat. So we can't resist. We have to embrace, and we have to learn to love and appreciate everything, even our enemies. There are no enemies. The only enemy is within. Like, what does it say here? It involves dealing with sinful reactions. If we have sinful reactions to the Illuminati and all the fucking bad shit in the world, it's not going to work. You can't defeat, does it say anything? You can't defeat your opposition with more sinful actions. Like, if someone's sinning against you, or like being bad against you, you can't fight it. It's not a fight that you fight physically, or with sinful, what does it say? Sinful and false beliefs that are lodged in our hearts during painful episodes. Yeah, and it's a lot of trauma. Like, dealing and processing the trauma of everything is what we got to do. And it's the same with our bodies. When we lay around and fucking be depressed, it's all, that's the same thing happens to your spirituality. You know what I mean? So, that's the intro. Kitty Cat Lawnmower, thank you for the claps. Hopefully you were here. I wish you would have been here in the very beginning. I'm just going to put this out there. I like to do my intro. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it every time, but I like to wake up when my mind's fresh from sleeping. Just had a nice rest. Maybe did some fucking lucid dreaming. Fucking talk to the...
Most of it towards the end.
Cool, most of it towards the end. But yeah, I usually wake up feeling like it's a new day, and we got to thank God. Scar of the Woods said they call it the mourning. We're not mourning anything. We should be celebrating that we wake up and we have a new day to fucking try to further ourselves in this fucking existence, because this is where we learn how to do this shit. And then when we're dead, we better fucking know how to do this and how to handle shit, because that realm, when you're sleeping, if you're not in control of that, it's going to be hell. There's going to be hell to pay if you don't fucking figure this shit out when you're here. And then you're going to end up in that dream state, that dead fucking eternal life. And you're going to say, holy hell, I don't got what it takes. I better go back and fucking try it again to learn what I need to do to be here. And then you're going to be born again. And then you're going to have to start from zero. And you're probably going to be in an even worse off position. Because apparently you didn't get it the first time. So here you are. God's going to put more on your plate. And it's going to be in the form of fucking even more trauma and even more pain. And you're going to keep going through this until you get that shit right. And then you're going to die. And then you're not going to come back. And you're going to be in heaven. So there you go. Clip it. I really might make that into YouTube. Maybe I should cry a little bit. See the water?
That's a heavy trip, brother.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could just squeeze one tear out here. Can you see the tear? There we go. I mean, that's good enough. I think it's rolling back this way, so it looks unnatural. It's not like down my face, but it was back there. So now we can start the day with our good intention that we just fucking put into our fucking existence.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we got it. Let's move on. We don't get too personal here. So, get rid of this. We got rear. Battery bank was down to 50%.